Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Alpha Network as a pretty major update has just been released to the Alpha, and I think it'll change the game pretty much forever. My name is Derailious, welcome back to Skyblock News, and let's launch right into it. Alrighty, starting off today with the Alpha changes, we have some pretty big things to go over. Basically, all items now can have attributes applied to them, as long as attributes for that item type exist. Also, you can obtain all of these at Centauri's featured update items menu. That goes for all attribute shards and the Kudra washing machine. The Kudra washing machine essentially allows you to combine it with an anvil and another item, and you can remove the attributes on an item, which is pretty neat. This is basically the limit of 2 attributes per item, and if you want to apply the third, you need to use that Kudra washing machine. On top of this, Centauri has a new functionality that allows you to clone your item. Pretty neat. As you can see in my inventory, I have duped Hyperions. Pro duper over here. That's a lie, I'm not actually a duper. And then moving on, we have Mayor Diana's mythological ritual event, which will be active for this alpha test if you want to test it out on some relatively strong mobs. On top of this, Mending and Vitality are preemptively nerfed to no longer scale with your Catacombs level bonus. This affects the Mender Helmet series, and if their base stats need to be adjusted, then they will do that, which is pretty neat. Attributes will not be applied to items this way on release. The above functionalities have been set up for the ease of applying attributes to items for balanced testing. So you might be thinking, well, this is a huge change. Why do they want to do this? Well, they're looking to do it because they need to be able to design items that exceed the power levels of Crimson Isle items, and if you don't have attributes, that becomes much harder, and also locking stuff to the Crimson Isle kinda sucks, especially for things like sword and bow attributes, which are heavily underutilized. If all goes to plan, the attribute shards will be available way before players reach the Crimson Isle, which is pretty neat, and have significantly more methods of obtaining them. I also like that a lot. They're going to make buying, selling, and combining them easier as well, with some balancing in between. Finally, we have some back-end changes, mostly focused on the loading of profile-related data. Okay, so now it's thoughts time. That was a lot of information to run through in a relatively short amount of time, but I think that we can start by going to Centauri himself and talking more generally about what this means. As you can see, all of the attributes are here. Now, I'm not some pro gamer, I don't have access to every single one of them, but what I will say is I think that this change is going to be really good for the health of the game long term. Now, obviously, right now, Crimson Isle is still relatively endgame content, and that is going to remain the case at least temporarily. However, it will not remain the case forever, at least not permanently, and that basically means that we're going to be bottlenecked in one way, shape, or form if they didn't make this change. Honestly, I don't even know why they decided to release attributes only on the Crimson Isle originally. I think that system was really well designed overall and could have had a lot of usage elsewhere, but I do think that this is a good step to make. On top of this, it makes items more customizable, gives people more freedom to set up builds and things that they want to do, and that is one of the best things about Skyblock, the fact that you're able to make builds at endgame levels. Now, it's not only endgame levels, early game levels, mid-game levels, and even in other different types of stats. I can imagine people who like farming armor, for instance, will start applying speed to that armor if they want to go even faster. There are a lot of changes that can be done here to make things a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more balanced, of course, but those changes seem to be the ones that the admins want to make, and I am a big supporter of this idea. Now, if I were to ever tell you to go onto Alpha right now and check something out, it would be for this update. This is big, this is important, and this is something that I think the admins are going to need help balancing, setting up, and it's going to be something that people are going to want to obviously check out. So, make sure you hop on Alpha if you can to check it out. These changes are going to be really healthy for the game long term, and I'm really excited to see them on the main server. At the end of the day though, my name is Derailious, thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and look to the future fellas, because I will see you then.